ahead and put you guys on mute. There we go. And we're gonna, oh, you can't even see me. That's not gonna work. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right, we're gonna start with the ball right between our ankles. And then you're gonna go ahead and take that plate and it's gonna come right out in front of you. I'll give you a side profile. You're gonna draw your shoulder blades back. You're gonna go ahead, it's gonna keep you in a perfect, nice neutral alignment. You're gonna soften your knees, draw my shoulder blades back. I'm holding onto my plate. Depending on how heavy your plate is, it will start to get heavy. You're gonna go ahead, soften those knees, stick your booty out, take an inhale. And as you exhale, press through your heels and draw your shoulder blades back. Inhale, reach your fingertips forward as you soften your knees. And then you exhale to draw your shoulder blades back. You might have to bring the plate right towards your chest. Inhale and exhale and press. Inhale, soften those knees and exhale, press. If you can, go ahead, take your arms out, draw your shoulder blades back and just reaching those fingertips forward. And then go ahead and pull it right on back. You're gonna go ahead, stay nice and lifted. Take an inhale, draw your chin to your chest. And as we exhale, you're gonna go ahead, start rounding yourself over, feeling each vertebrae going ahead and pulling down towards the ground. And that plate is reaching down towards the ground as well. Hi, Kim. Reaching those fingertips long, take an inhale, look right center plate. As we exhale, you're gonna go ahead, push up through your heels, draw in through your abs, rounding yourself up one vertebrae at a time. You lift and you lengthen, soften those knees. Take an inhale. As we exhale, you're gonna go ahead, push through those heels, draw your chin to your chest, and you're diving up and over your imaginary ball as you reach those fingertips down towards the ground. Take an inhale into your ribcage and chest. Exhale, you slowly start rounding yourself up. And you're gonna stack your shoulders over your hips, and we're gonna go ahead and have a seat, reaching the plate forward. So once again, this is activating our arms. If you need to bring your hands in because it's putting pressure on your shoulders, bring your hands in toward your chest. Otherwise, you keep your arms long. You bring those elbows right underneath you. So I'm turning my elbows down and under as I come down. And I'm gonna exhale. I'm gonna bring that plate towards my hips. I'm gonna inhale, have a seat. Exhale, pushing through my heels and lifting. Inhale down. Exhale and press. So once again, if it puts pressure on your shoulders, you can keep that plate right at your chest. You're pushing into that plate at all times. Exhale and press. Pushing in, feeling those elbows also coming towards your midline. You don't want to put pressure into those elbows. And you're having a seat on the inhale, exhale, press through. And just 3 more times. And 2. And last one, hold here. Take an inhale. Now, as we exhale, you're going to take that plate, you're going to sweep it. My right hand is back, my left hand is forward. I'm looking over my right shoulder. And then I'm going to lift up. I have a seat again. I'm going to take my left hand back, my right hand is forward, and trying to sweep that plate by my side. And then I lift myself right back up. Do that again and flow. Side and lift. Exhale, looking over my shoulders. Your range of motion is going to be different than the next person, which is fine. You find if you just want to go ahead and stand and do this, that's fine too. We're rotating through our spine. Inhale, exhale, and we lift and you press. So by using that plate, it's a hard surface. You really have to activate those arms, and there's no putting pressure into your palms. And reach to the side. One more time on each side. Inhale, exhale to the left. And then we're gonna come all the way up. If you can, take your hands behind you, give me a stretch. Take an inhale, float your arms in front of you. This time what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that ball. We're gonna put it between our inner thighs. All right, I'm gonna turn my toes in. So turning my hips and my toes inward. And then I'm gonna open a little bit wider and I'm gonna see where can I go where I'm turning in and I'm hugging that ball, giving that ball a hug. Where does that work for me? All right, everybody's gonna be different. That plate now, All right, that plate is going to come right to our chest. Turning my hips inward, I'm going to take an inhale, exhale. I'm going to push my plate out from my chest, and I'm going to pull my plate in. I'm putting pressure on my plate. So if you have a ceramic plate, make sure you don't break it. Believe it or not, my plate's acrylic actually. It doesn't matter what type of plate it is. And I think someone even has a fitness circle. Carolyn has a fitness circle, which works too. And my inner thighs are going ahead. I'm squeezing together and I'm pulling it back in and I press. Reaching that plate forward. Inhale, exhale, it presses down and out as I squeeze my knees towards my midline. And I press. And I'm going to hold here. I'm going to take my plate, bring it in towards my ball, and then I'm going to lift it as high as I can. Where can you lift it to? Everyone's going to be different. And I'm going to sweep my hands towards my hips. And I might just lift it here. That's fine. So Pam B, your range of motion is different. It's the hold in the outer part of the thighs, drawing it on your abs, squeezing that ball for dear life. Inhale down, exhale to lift. Everybody's different. I'm internally rotated. I have that nice, beautiful V. Inhale down, exhale, squeeze. My leg is screaming right about here. And 2 more times. And last time, I'm going to lengthen my legs, square off my legs so they're parallel. I'm going to start lifting my chest, arching my back, giving myself a nice stretch. If anybody wants to, you can take your hands above your head as you do the same thing. And then you're going to go ahead, come down onto our knees, keep the ball between your inner thighs. Okay, so on my knees. Okay, here we go. Take that ball, put it right between your inner thighs. And we're going to go ahead, depending on how your knees are feeling, you might just stay upright. That's fine with me. That plate, once again, you're pushing into that plate, bringing it right to your chest. You're going to take an inhale. As we exhale, you push that plate out. You hinge back if you can. And then you're going to pull the plate into your chest as you stack your shoulders, rib cage, and hips. We're going to lengthen our arms back. And then we're going to pull ourselves right back up and in. And you lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And pull towards your chest. We're going to add a rotation. You're going to pull it towards your chest, keep your plate at your chest and rotate. Then you're going to press out. If you don't feel like you're going hinging back your knees, you can stand up. You can also just take the hinge out of it and you rotate. So you lengthen and you rotate. Go ahead, hinge back and rotate side to side, alternating. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and hinge back. And then give me one more time, guys. Sorry, I shut the glare leg down. And if you can sit back to your heels, go right ahead. If you can't, you're going to stay upright. And I just want you guys to go back. So it doesn't matter if you're sitting back or you're lifted. And now I want you to reach your plate to the ground. Inhale, come to the center. Exhale, reach your plate towards the ground. And come back center. So if you're not going to do that, you're going to stay up right here. You're still going to reach your plate. It's not going to hit the ground though. So if you're lifted up high, you're not going to reach that plate to the ground. If you're back here, you lift your hips up and you reach for the ground. It depends on the flexibility in your knees. Okay, if your knees don't work, stay higher, hinge back, and you're going to reach side to side. Otherwise, you're down here, reaching side to side. Inhale, exhale, and press. One more on each side, and press. Lift your hips up. And we're going to have a seat. We're going to start with the plate. The ball's going to stay between your inner thighs, protect our spine. We're going to start with the plate in our hands as we lay down. Ooh, it's cold in here. And you're going to take your arms up toward the ceiling, pulling your elbows toward your midline. I'm turning my elbows inward, pulling my shoulder blades down, squeezing up on that ball. Inhale, draw your chin to your chest. As you exhale, come up and tap that ball with your plate. I need you to push down on that ball if you can. And then you come right back down. Exhale, you do that again. You push on that ball with the plate. Inhale back down. If you can, and your shoulders will allow you to, you're going to take your hands behind you. Exhale, come up and push down on the ball with the plate. Inhale, arms go behind you. Exhale, pulling your elbows to your midline. I want you to hug onto the plate with your palms as well as the upper part of your arms, turning them inwards. Exhale, and let's push on that ball for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down. Remember, arms do not have to go overhead. They can just go straight up. And you come up and you push down on that ball for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really putting pressure on that ball with that plate. And you flex up again and you go 5, push 4, push 3, push 2, push 1. We have one more set like that. Exhale, come up and you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to put your plate to the side. I want you to grab onto your ball. So you're going to feel the difference now between having a soft, cushiony surface versus a non-movable plate, which is going to be our primary prop today. So take your right leg in a tabletop and take your left leg in a tabletop. You're going to go ahead. If you can take your arms behind you, go right ahead. Otherwise, they stay right here. And then you're going to go ahead, send your legs out. Exhale, curl up, squeeze the ball and tap your shins. So legs go out, your arms can stay right here. And then you go ahead, squeeze the ball and tap your shins. Inhale, legs out. Exhale, tap. If you can take your arms behind you, go ahead. Exhale. Inhale, out. Exhale, pull in. All the way out and all the way back in. Lengthen, exhale, squeeze, pull. Now give the ball a hug. You're going to squeeze it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A different feeling than squeezing the plate and pushing it down to the ball. Exhale, 5, 4, 3. It's more intense when I use my plate and push it on the ball. Exhale, you squeeze that ball. But the squeezing of the ball right here simulates the fitness circle movement because the ring does move. 2 more times. Come up. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you have one more. Exhale, squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your legs down. Put the ball back between your inner thighs. Take your hands by your side. Pull your heels to your seat. Take an inhale, exhale, just lift your hips up and you're going to squeeze that ball, reaching your knees towards your toes. Enjoy that nice stretch. Shoulders are back and slowly come down one vertebrae at a time. Grab back onto your plates, taking it right at your chest, pushing your palms in, thinking about your mid-back series. If you had your hands in the straps, okay? So I'm pushing into my plate, palms are pushing in, shoulders are down. I'm gonna come up head, neck, and shoulders, and I'm gonna reach my plate off to the left side. My left hand is down, my right hand is up, okay? Push into your plate. Bring it back to your chest, go that side again. And you push down and out. And you do that again, push down and out. Challengers, if you would like to, you can take your legs in a tabletop and then bring them back down. Exhale, bring them back down. Exhale, inhale, exhale, lift. Every time, push it out. Think about moving from your mid-back, reaching it across, hold here. If you can keep your legs in tabletop, go ahead. You can see my left arm is long, my right hand's on top, and I'm gonna go ahead, give myself a bicep and a tricep. Bicep and tricep every time. Exhale, lengthen. Push into your lower palm, push into your top palm. You're resisting on each way. So think about my tricep here, my bicep here. 4. Exhale, 3. Legs can be down here if they need to be. 2 and 1. Come back to your center of your chest. Other side. Take an inhale, rotate your right arm down, your left hand up. As you exhale, reach off to your right side. Come back in, exhale and push. You want to make sure you're pushing on the plate from the bottom and the top hand every time, using the upper part of the arms, not the forearms, not the elbows. Challengers, if you'd like to go ahead and lift those legs when you rotate. Mid-back, Inhale, exhale, reaching that plate on a diagonal. Every time. 2 more times, we'll stay here. Last time, everybody stay here, and you're gonna bend your right arm and lengthen. Exhale, bicep and tricep, putting pressure on that plate. So it's different than using weights, and it's different than using nothing at all. Inhale, exhale. It's a nice dynamic movement, stretching while you're working the muscles for 4, exhale for 3, exhale for 2, and last 1, come down, land ball heel, lift your hips up for a nice stretch. Nothing like these classes gets my abs. Guys, even using the reformer does not. So take an inhale, lift your hips, exhale, articulate down through your spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Imprint, release it all the way to neutral. You're gonna go ahead, elbows are wide again. You're going to push into your palms. My elbows are wide, I'm pushing into my palms, drawing in on my abs. I'm going to exhale and I'm going to send it out. I'm gonna push on my palms and bring it back in. Exhale to press out. Inhale to bring it back in, really pushing out on my chest, just like we just did in the warm up. And then you go ahead, bring it back in. I press. We're gonna go ahead, add, lift. Exhale, press, lift, and pull it back in. And press and lift, and pull it back in. Pushing out on my plate, and pulling it back in. Try not to use momentum. That's why I got stuck right about there, because I have to slow it down to make sure I use my core. Exhale, lengthen, and bring it right back to your chest. Exhale, press out. Looking good, ladies. 2 more times, we'll stay lifted. And your last time, stay lifted. If you can, either hold your hands here or pick them up for a stretch. Bring them back down in front of you, lengthen your legs out. Take that ball, put it at your ankles, and hug onto it. We're gonna go ahead and do some back rowing. So hopefully this will keep you out of your hip flexors. If it doesn't, bring the ball higher and bend your legs a little bit, and it will keep you out of your hip flexors, okay? You can also sit on top of a pillow if you prefer to. Sitting on top of a nice cushion works too. Take that plate out in front of you. So the work is coming not from the weight of the plate, it's really coming from how you're activating your arms as you're going ahead and you're holding your plate. So I want you to go ahead, just take your plate. I want you to wrap your elbows towards your midline, and I want you to bring your plate towards your head, pulling your elbows towards your midline, hugging onto that plate. And then you lengthen your arms. I'm gonna give you a front view. So my arms are out, my elbows are to my midline, and look how my elbows come in. I feel my back muscles, I feel my biceps, I feel everything rather than being out here. You don't wanna be out here. Pull them in, that's gonna be the work. All right, here we go, hugging onto that ball. You're gonna go ahead, hinge back, elbows to your midline, bring it in towards you. And you're gonna open, exhale, bring it in towards you again. Elbows towards your midline as you pull, lifting up and in. 2 more times. Last time. Now stack your shoulders over your hips, reach forward with that flat back, and then round your spine, lift, lengthen. Adding on, if you want to, you hinge back, bicep curl, elbows to your midline. So you can take your arms up if you want. You can take your arms up. Reach forward, chin to chest, lift and lengthen. So option 1, bicep curl, elbows to your midline. You hold here, stacking your shoulders over your hips, reaching forward, hinge, reach for your toes, curl, lift, lengthen. Option 2 is a bicep curl, elbows to midline, push it out, lift it up, reach it forward, and then you curl. Either one works for me. One more time, pick one. Bicep curl, and push, and reach, and then curl and lengthen. Bringing the plate to your chest again, holding onto that ball. Take an inhale, exhale, you curl back. And then you're gonna rotate towards your right. This time, take your plate down, bring it back to your chest, rotate to your left. Bring your plate down. Try to tap your plate. Don't break it. Bring it back in. Your chest comes towards your thighs. You lift, lengthen, send your arms out. You curl back, bring the plate to your chest. Rotate to the opposite side. Tap your plate. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate, twist. Tap your plate down. Try to get your plate down. And come back to the center. Chest towards your thighs. Lift, lengthen your spine. Send your arms out. Staying to the left. We're going to stay to the left. We're going to round back, hold here, bring your plate towards your chest and rotate. So my plate is at my chest and I'm rotated. That's the key, okay? And then you're going to go ahead, send your plate out on that diagonal and go back further and then bring it to your chest. Out on that diagonal. Staying twisted and I'm reaching long on the diagonal as I press. Exhale, go ahead, out and in 2 more times. Last time, take your plate, go up and over for 4 and back. Up and over for 3. We'll go to the other side after we take a break. 2. Last 1. Come to your center, guys. Bring your chest to your thighs. Lift, lengthen your spine. How's the plate doing? Is it hitting those muscles with you? Hopefully. Okay. Round yourself back. Bring your plate to your chest. Keeping your chest and your plate connected as you rotate. Your plate stays at your chest, so it stays at your chest. Ready? You push the arms out and you pull them back in. Exhale on the diagonal. So remember, the plate is coming back to your chest every time. It's not coming to your shoulder. Chest, stay rotated, taking that oblique and twisting it. 4 more times, and we're going to go up and over. 3, push. Exhale, 2. Exhale, 1, hold, up and over. Making that nice rainbow. Up and over, semicircle, whatever you want to do. 2 more, 1 more on each side. Up and over and back. Come to here, reach for those toes. Inhale here and exhale, lift and lengthen. Let's go ahead and take these down for a moment. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and put those together, put them to the side, and we're going to go ahead and do a little side glute work. So we're going to go ahead and come onto our knees and lift ourselves up. And so now I want you to visualize like you have the jump board. So we're just taking a break from those props and visualize that you have a jump board to your side. And you're going to go ahead, you're on your side. And if you can, you're going to come down onto your arm right here, and you're going to pull up out of your oblique, you're out of your shoulder. Okay. If that doesn't work for you, you can grab, actually, Pam B, you could grab a chair and hold on to the chair, just like this. Okay. Or you could do standing. This leg is lifted. I want the knee to come forward, and I want you to push it out and lift it up. It comes forward, out, and up. Your knee comes forward, out, and up. I'm going to give you a side profile so you can see where my leg is falling. Okay. So my knee comes forward. I'm in tabletop. It goes out, and then it exhales, lifts up. In, out, and lift. Here's what it looks like standing. It's the same thing. In, out, lift. Okay. So at any point, if anybody has to stand, same way. Inhale, exhale, and lift. Whichever works for you. And then you're going to hold it up here, and you're going to lift up. Exhale, squeezing up into that glute every time. Lift. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to turn. I'm going to go ahead. You can either imaginary you're having your hands on the box. You can go onto your forearms. And Amy was standing. So Amy, you can still do it this way too. You would still do it this way. Okay. So quadruped position, however you want. I want you to lift your right knee, and I want you to push it out and pull it back in. All right. Now challengers, here's your option challengers. Challengers can go ahead and take the ball, and you can put it underneath your left knee. Holding on, and you're going to push out on your right leg. Inhale, exhale, push, lift. So all we're doing is pushing, lifting. Here's what it looks like with the chair. Bend, push, lift. Inhale, exhale, push, lift. comes in and press, bend and extend. Okay, so we did this jump board sequence in class yesterday. Kim, right? Kim was in class. Bend it in, a little different here. Now, you're gonna externally rotate your hip. You're gonna bring your knee to your elbow and you're gonna push it out and lift up. Knee to elbow, out and lift up. Inhale, exhale. Knee to elbow and press, squeeze. Every time. So I just add the ball underneath my opposite leg, a little bit more of a challenge. 2 more times. Last time. I'm gonna go ahead, shift my body weight back. Try to grab that ball and put it between my inner thighs. You can do this holding onto your chair. So if you're on that chair, keep holding onto that chair. You're stretching your spine out, get that nice long stretch. And then we're gonna go ahead, hover those knees and tap them back down. And then you go ahead and you lift yourself right back up. So if you're holding onto your chair, continue to hold onto your chair and doing the same thing. You just bend your knees, drop them down, and then you lift yourself right back up. We're gonna go to that up stretch variation. Here's what it looks like here. You're here, and then you tap, and then you reach, whatever works for you. And now we're gonna go ahead and lift our hips up, and we're gonna bring ourselves into that plank. So if you're using that chair or the wall, you come to that plank using the chair or the wall, taking the pressure off the shoulder. You can use the high part of a chair or a wall works too. And you're in that long stretch position. You're gonna go ahead, push forward and back. Modification, if you're down on the ground, is right here. You're gonna go forward and back. Inhale, exhale. Otherwise, you're here and you go forward and back. Exhale, push, or you're on the wall or the chair. Exhale. Now you're gonna go ahead, come forward, draw your chin to your chest, scoop, and come back. And then you push your hips down, relax your shoulders, and then you bring your shoulders over your hands, chin to chest, and you scoop. I'm making a circle, almost a semicircle standing, and then I push down through my hips, and I scoop my body forward, and I shift my body weight back. Here's what it looks like on the chair. I'm gonna push my body weight forward as far as I can, scoop and pull in through my abs. I lift my heels, come back down, stick my booty out, drop my hips forward. I lift my heels, come forward, scoop. And just give me one more, guys. And then we have to go to the other side. So for those of you who put the ball underneath your shin, you can do that. And you're just gonna go ahead, bend, lift. Inhale, bend the leg in, extend, squeeze up. Whatever works for you. Out and lift. I want you to feel like you're tapping the box. So my hands would either be on the box or they would be on the shoulder rests. I'd be pushing out on the tramp, the cardio tramp or the jump board, squeezing, lifting my glute, bending my knee in, exhale and press. Bend, exhale and press. And then we're gonna externally rotate your hip. Bring your knee to your elbow and exhale, press out and squeeze, lift. Inhale, exhale. So you don't have to use the ball. You can be standing. If you're holding onto a chair, get your shoulders over your hands so it takes the pressure out of the shoulders. Perfect. Inhale, exhale, bend your knee in and press, lift, squeeze. Just a couple more. And last one. Take the ball between your inner thighs. And you're gonna sit back for a shell stretch, reaching your hands forward and relaxing those shoulders. And really push down through your lumbar and your tailbone. Enjoy that stretch, chin to chest. My chest is actually dropping on my ball slightly, and I'm dropping my forehead down to the mat. And then I'm gonna take my hands here by my side, and I'm gonna curl and lift myself up, and I'm gonna come back with that plate. All right. So for those of you who have that ball, okay, I'm gonna actually have you sit on that ball. All right. And it lifts you up. spine nice and long. If you don't have a ball, you can use a cushion. You can sit in a chair. Part of your work is balancing. So if we don't have BOSUs at home, you could use the ball to sit on just like this. And you can get that same articulation of like you're using the BOSU. Okay, so we're going to do a short box series. We're on our imaginary BOSU, half BOSU. We're balancing ourselves, or you're on a pillow. A cushion works fine. And you're going to take your arms out in front of you. Activate your inner thigh. So don't let your legs just drop out wide. Activate your inner thighs as you're here. And you're going to hinge back and then come forward. I just want you to feel your balance. So you're on that ball and hinging back. You don't want to feel any pressure in your lower back. If you feel pressure in your lower back, your butt is not far enough on that ball. Okay, you might be too far forward on that ball. And just find that for me. All right. Adding on, you're going to go ahead. You're going to hinge back. If you can lift your arms up above your head, go right ahead. See if you can balance on that ball. Lift your shoulders over your hips and bring your hands in front of you. Without using your shoulders, you're going to hinge back. Take an inhale and then exhale, bring your shoulders over your hands. You can take your arms down towards your legs. Either one works for me. You hinge back. You lift your arms if you can. Bring your shoulders over your hands and you come here, or you hinge back, lift up, and rest your arms. Okay, we're going to go into round back. Take an inhale. Now, as we exhale, I'm going to round myself forward, moving my pelvis forward. And then I lift myself back. Ball moves. Exhale, I round myself forward. This is my moving carriage. And then I lift and lengthen my spine. And then I'm going to round myself forward, hold here. I'm going to give myself that bicep curl and bring the front of that plate towards my forehead. Don't hit yourself. Then I'm going to bring my elbows towards the side of my hips. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back again. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to bring my elbows towards my hips, and then I'm going to go back. Where can you go? So my pelvis is lifted. Can I go further? Challenge yourself as long as you're in your core, and try to go a little bit further every time. And just give me 2 more times. Go back on that ball as far as you can, guys. And give me that 1 more time. And then curl yourself forward. Lift, lengthen your spine, and get yourself right on top of that ball again, or wherever you are. All right. We're going to go around the world. You're going to take that plate if you can. It's either going to stay right here or it's going to be up here. Okay. So if it's right here, I'm going to cue it with the shoulders down first. We'll all do it with the shoulders down, and then we'll move to the lifting up if you want. So my plate is flat. It's at my chest. It's not this way. It's the long way. I'm going to go ahead and rotate towards my right. I'm going to go ahead, curl my pelvis underneath me. I'm going to reach my plate off to the right. And then I'm going to come up and reach my plate off to the left. I'm going to pull it in towards my chest. And I'm going to lift, lengthen my spine, keeping my shoulders down again. I'm going to go ahead and twist to my left. I'm going to go on that diagonal, send the plate out. Then I'm going to go all the way up and over to the other side. Go ahead, pull the plate in and lift my chest up, adding the arms if you want to. You lift the arms up if you want to. You twist to the right. You curl back and you reach to the right. You take your hands up and over your head, reaching to the left. You're going to go ahead, find that balance on that ball as you come back up and you lift. Twisting to the left. Ready? You can keep your hands down. You go on the diagonal. You go up and over to the other side. Hands are high. You come up on the diagonal and lift, lengthen. 1 more time, guys. Twist and reach. And up and over. And bring it in. And last time on the left. Twist and reach. Go up and over and around. And then you come back in and we lift. Oh, all right. So staying up on that ball with me, you're going to take an inhale. As we exhale, I'm going to have you soften the spine. You're going to go ahead and take your plate out to the side. Depending on the weight of your plate or your fitness circle, I'm holding on to the top of the plate, and I'm going to take my other hand down and I'm going to sweep it back. And I'm going to hold back onto the plate and come to the center. I go to my right, I twist the plate, my left hand is on top. I'm going to hold the plate with my left hand as I drop my right hand off, and I bring it back on, come to the center. Now the weight of the plate is what gets to work the isometric side. So as I twist to the left, my right hand goes on top. When I take my left hand off, I feel that right oblique really working to hold that plate in place. And my other arm comes down. Now, if you can go ahead and keep twisting and lift that arm, go for it. And then you come back and you come to the center. Well, you're going to twist the opposite side. Left hand is on top. You hold your plate. You take your arm out to the side and you go ahead, come back on, come to the center. And we twist and it reaches and it comes back on and center and twist, hold. And you really want to concentrate on the isometric movement of that opposite oblique. Inhale, rotate and hold and reach. One more time on each side, twist and reach. And one more time on the last side, exhale and come back in. I want you guys to stick your booty out, open up your legs nice and wide, and try to reach forward. So enjoy that nice stretch. My legs are opened up wide. I'm dropping my chest as far forward as I can. I'm sitting on my ball. I'm going to go ahead forward fold like I'm sitting on top of my box. Take an inhale here. And as I exhale, I'm going to go ahead and just slowly start lifting myself up. And now I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go into some extension. So we're going to go ahead, lay on our stomachs. All right. Make sure you have both your props with you. We're going to start with the ball, because for those of you who want to end up staying with the ball, you can. All right. You don't have to use the plate. We're going to start with the ball, holding it out in front of us. Draw your shoulder blades down, pressing your pubic bone down into the mat. You're going to start lifting your arms if you can. Now, if you can't do that, you're going to take your hands by your side and you're going to go ahead. You can pass the ball or you can just lift up this way. So if your hands can't go above your head, you're just going to draw your shoulder blades back and lift up from your chest this way. If your hands can go above your head, you're here. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to lift up. So hands by your side or hands above your head. Now, if your hands are above your head, you're going to go ahead, take it into your right hand, pass it into your left hand, and then go ahead, bring it back in front of you. Then you bring it into your left hand to your right hand, and you're here. Keep moving. If you're keeping your hands by your side, you're going to try to bring it up and over. If that's putting stress into your shoulders, you're just going to lift up and down 4 times, and then you'll switch hands and do 4 times on the other side. So whichever one you guys want to do. You can take your hands all the way out, take it out, bring it around, lift, back down. You lift your chest up, you pull it behind you, you lift, whoops, almost lost my ball, and bring it back. All right, grabbing onto your plate. So once again, if you're not bringing your hands above your head, you're gonna just take your hands by your side here, okay? So wherever your hands can be, if they were here, if you want to try your hands out here or your hands out here, you can. If you have that plate, you're automatically going to go into extension. Make sure you don't put too much pressure. So palms are we're going to put it into your hands. You're going to take an inhale. And as we exhale, shoulder blades go down and you push down and lift up. And then you release it back down. So here's what it looks like without using the plate. Hands are here. You take an inhale, exhale, you push down and you lift yourself up into extension. And then you bring it back down. Inhale, exhale, push and lift. If you have the fitness circle, you're more than welcome to put one side of the fitness circle down and put your hands on the top of the fitness circle, and you can push down and lift. Inhale, exhale, do that again. And we have 2 more times. Push down and lift. And go deeper on this last time. Exhale, push down and lift. Nice job, guys. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come back into that quadruped position. Give yourself a little stretch in that lower spine for me. All right. So quadruped position, once again, if you need to use the chair, you use the chair. So here's what I would love for you to try to do. My plate, view front profile. It's just like the fitness circle. So you want to make sure it's on the mat. It's nice and light. All right. If that does not feel good, the ball is a great option. Okay. The ball is a great option too. You can also come here and take the ball right here. All right. On a chair. So remember, I'm just giving you options because if you really don't like how it feels using that plate, you don't have to. The plate is not a cushiony surface. It's non-movable. You have to relax your shoulder, push down through your lats and your serratus, stay out of that shoulder. Right. So if you want to, if you're using the ball, you need to put it right here, or you can just go ahead and hold on to the chair. It's fine. So I'm going to have you hold on here, take an inhale. As we exhale, you're going to go ahead. The weight is going to be in my left hand and my right leg. And I'm going to go ahead and send my left leg away. Take an inhale here. As we exhale, I'm going to lift up that leg and I'm going to circle it in one direction and just circle. Inhale, exhale. And then I'm going to circle in the other direction from the glute. All right, so some of you might just stay right here. Otherwise, if you'd like to try, you're going to go ahead and send both legs out and up. I have my hand on that plate and I'm going to push down into that plate. Modification right here. Also, you can just hold on to that chair, take those legs out, hold it right here. I'm going to go ahead and try to lift my plate and bring my plate down. Here's what it looks like if we're doing it this way. Lift the plate and bring it back down. Now I'm going to lift my plate, bring it behind me, and I'm going to lift my plate and bring it in front of me. Arm pulling straps, quadruped position, and bring it around. Here's what it looks like with more of a challenge. Up and around, up and around. Lots of options. Inhale, exhale, push. 2 more times. Exhale. Shoulder stays down. Last one. Inhale, exhale, around. Take your plate down. Give yourself a shell stretch, guys. Going to the other side. So remember, lots of options. No prop, ball, or plate. On an angle, pushing down, relax your shoulder. Okay. You're going to go ahead and shoot out that opposite leg. Hold it here, and you're going to start making that leg circle. Exhale. Just make that leg circle. Remember, you can be holding onto a chair. You do not have to be in that position. Inhale, exhale, other direction for 5. Exhale, 4. Pushing down that plate, shoulder down. 3, 2, and 1. All right. You can stay right here. Wrap that foot under and pause and just hold right here. And you'll do the whole series like this. Okay. Your other option is to go ahead and come into that modified plank. Hips are forward. Your last option is to come into that full plank, push down on your plate. Pick which one you want to do. All right, square off those hips, take an inhale and take the plate by your side. And then you bring it forward. And I'm pulling it back and forward. So remember, you can be right here, pull it back and forward. You could be standing and you pull and you reach using that mid back. 4 more and reach. Exhale for 3. Last 2. And last 1. Nice job, guys. Take that plate down. And then we're going to go ahead and take that ball. Plate is going to go by the side. And we're going to lay down. So it's just going to be in my left hand. Or my right hand, it doesn't matter, just one side. And you're gonna go ahead and take it out to whatever angle you have. If you can take it at 90 degrees, great. If you can't, you're gonna go ahead and you'll bring it down whatever angle you have. So I'm gonna have you go ahead, push down into your palms, roll your shoulder blade back, take an inhale. And as we exhale, you're gonna push and lift. So remember, if that doesn't feel good right here, just push and lift. And then come back down. So this hand stays in place. My back hand is going to move. And I'm going to lift the opposite leg. Inhale, exhale, and push. So I'm pushing down into my right hand with the ball and my left leg. Exhale. Challengers, bring your left heel towards your seat. Push down with that ball. Take an inhale, exhale, push, lift, and lift your hip up. I'm lifting my hip up as I do this. And then I come back down. Exhale, push, lift. So remember, the modification is right here. Push, lift. Inhale, exhale. I'm lifting my hips. You don't have to lift your hips. You can keep it down. Inhale, exhale, push, lift, hold here. Now lift your glute. Push through your glute and lift your leg as you're pushing through your hand. Exhale, I'm pushing up. You can see my glute is not touching the ground. Exhale, 4, exhale, 3. Here's 2 and 1. Other side. So start with your legs long. Hand can be wherever it wants. Take an inhale, exhale. You push down that ball and you sweep up that hand. So it can go right here. Inhale, I push down on the ball. It helps lift me up. Inhale. Exhale, push down and start lifting the opposite leg. Inhale, exhale, and push and lift. Down, exhale, and lift. If you'd like to bring your heel into your seats, add the lower abs, hamstring, and glute. You go ahead and bring that foot in. Here we go. Exhale, push, lift. Whatever works for you. Exhale, push and reach. I'm pushing up into that glute, hamstring and glute. Down, exhale, and lift. Inhale, exhale, press. 2 more times, and we're going to stay here. Last time, push, lift, hold, and push up into that glute. Up. Every time, into that hamstring and that glute as you lift, reaching across. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. You're going to take that ball. You're going to go ahead and bring it to the front of your legs. So go ahead, come up. Bring those legs up. That ball is going to go on the front of my thighs. I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to interlace my fingers. I'm going to come up head, neck, and shoulders. I'm going to push on that ball for dear life. Round my chest forward. And as I push on that ball, I'm going to pull in on my left leg and lengthen my right. And then I bring it back in. And then I switch. If that's too much, tap your toe down. You can also keep your head down. I'm pushing for dear life. I'm pushing the ball into my thigh, pulling my thigh into the ball. Both sides, opposing forces are working. Inhale, exhale. Pull it in and press it out. Just a couple more. And your last one. Bring your knees in, take that ball behind you, pull your knees in towards your chest, and rock yourself side to side. Make some circles. And then start going ahead, guys. If you can, hold on to that ball with your calves and your hamstrings and roll up and down, roll like a ball. So the ball is behind my legs and I'm rolling up and down. Hold on to that ball. Exhale, looks good. And then you come all the way up, stay here. Perfect. Then you're gonna go ahead, come onto your knees. And we're gonna go ahead, bring our right hip forward. We're gonna do single thigh stretch. I'm taking the ball out in front of me and I'm gonna lengthen that leg back, pushing into that ball in front of me. Really stretching out that hip. And then I'm gonna lengthen my front leg as much as I can. Use that ball to push away from. And then I'm gonna bend my knee and bring my opposite foot in. Lengthen my spine, take an inhale here. And I'm gonna lengthen that left leg back. I'm gonna push into my left hip now. Lift up from your chest and push into your left hip. And then you're gonna lengthen your front leg back. Get that nice stretch in that triangle pose. Soften that knee, bring that leg in, take an inhale. I'm going to roll that ball up along my body. Roll it up, roll it up, roll it up, roll it up. I'm going to take that ball all the way up towards the ceiling and stretch. I'm going to take it behind me and push back. Exhale. And then I'm going to release it, and you guys are done. Nice job, guys.
Thanks, JJ. I have to run.
Thank you.